Showtime in 5.
Let's see, and no. Yeah, you know what? Yes. I'm gonna yes this. No. No. Yes. Oh, definitely yes.
Okay, I get it. You like Tinder. There's many women on Tinder that like you, Conrad, but do you have to do this right before show? I now feel like I have to wash the sadness off.
It's not Tinder, it's Kitinder. You see pictures of kittens, and then you swipe right to the ones you like, and you swipe left to the ones you don't. Look at how cute that one is. I'm definitely swiping right to that.
That is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. I thought it was an app for you meeting women.
Well, you still meet girls this way. I mean, what happens is you swipe right on a kitten, and then they swipe right on a kitten, and if you like the same kitten, you can talk to each other and, exchange pictures of your cat. Saren's on here. She's gotten a whole bunch of swipe rights because she's adorable, and I think I can say that without sounding biased because she is adorable. Like, look at that. Look at the whiskers on this one, man.
I do have to wash the sadness off.
What? Listen, okay? You use the kittens, you swipe right, and then that's how you meet the pussy.
The name's Nukem, Duke Nukem, and I want you to listen to Conrad and Lucas take geek culture off the shelf and show it to you. What? That didn't make sense. The Rack Show at VoxVii.com. Geek culture at its best. Hail to the king, baby.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 3 of The Rack Show, which you're hopefully watching on the VoxVii YouTube channel, but you can also check out on VoxVii.com as well as TheRackShow.com. I'm Conrad.
And I'm Lucas.
And he's looking all spiffy. Look at you.
Back in the...
Yeah, back in the tie and vest.
Yeah. I was sort of bumming it for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, looking sharp.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
My mom washed my shirt. So I can wear it now.
That's important. I do my own laundry, so
I
never wear a tie.
I just got caught at my parents' house last night. And because I had to go out there and work on... My dad has these spy glasses, and he bought them for like $50, but you can...
Okay, I want to stop you right now because your laundry story, instantly lame now that your dad has spy glasses. Talk about that.
We'll get back to the laundry. So he has spy glasses that he wants to use, but he didn't know how to use them. They're shades with the camera and audio.
Lucas's dad is a tiny Filipino man that doesn't really speak very good English.
He speaks good English, it's just with an accent.
It's hard for me to tell, just saying, I try. He has follicular implants. Great guy, cool guy. Just, I'm thinking of him with spy glasses and why he would need them for anything.
Because he's becoming a cyborg spy. My dad has, what is that called?
I don't know.
He went deaf, so he has the cochlear implant.
Yeah.
And you can see it, because he's mostly bald. And now he's going to have spy glasses on with the little camera and everything. And I was fixing them. He bought them online for $50, and he got really pissed because I showed him you can buy them for $7 online.
What do they do?
They take video and pictures
so it's
with
like,
nobody knowing.
So it's like Google Glasses?
No, it's regular shades, but in the middle there's a camera and you can't see it. It's hidden. And I don't know what he needs them for, but I have an idea. So, anyways, I was fixing them there because he asked me to come out there, and it was really late because, anyway, I just got out there late, and I had my shirts for the show, and I'm like, well, they need to be washed, so my mom threw them in the wash machines. She doesn't really do my laundry. I live way too far away for that.
You're really defensive about this.
She doesn't do my laundry, Conrad.
Just saying.
She had it loaded, so she threw my shirts in.
So
I had to iron it.
Other than your laundry and your dad being in Spy Kids 5, what else is happening in your life? Is that it?
Yeah, that's it right now. We're going to Midwest Media Expo next week.
We are.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, well, speaking of, which means we'll be away from our home, away from home. This is the Phoenix Cafe in Hazel Park at the corner of 10 Mile and John R., which you can find more information on at thephoenixcafehazelpark.com. That was good.
See how I did that there?
I did.
It's pretty awesome.
So yeah, we're going to be at Midwest Media Expo. We have a ton of content that's happening. We have a 2-part rack show. We have our Super Geek Quiz Off. We have a producers panel, which you're going to get to see Corey and Lucas on. And we also have...
Maybe me.
You're going to be there. I don't care how early
really
it is.
Early in the morning.
Yeah, but you're a producer, so you're going to be there. And then also Pod Apocalypse, where we're going to get anybody who does anything in front of a microphone and sit them down and be hilarious. It's like 2-hour block.
And if you're interested in being part of Pod Apocalypse and you're part of a podcast that's out right now... Give us a ring on or a message on the Facebookers.
A holler.
On the Facebooks. Or you can tweet. Luke Del Castillo, which is right here, amazingly, in my lower third this time.
He loves Twitter now.
I do.
If you love Twitter and you want to follow The Rack Show, all one word, as well as on Instagram, and you can... Why are you poking me?
You remember when I made fun of you because you were on Twitter all the time?
Yeah, and now look at you. And who was right?
I'm just saying it only
He just doesn't even want to say it.
It
but
only
this guy.
became cool after I started it into it.
That
That's what I'm
is
saying.
a bold-faced lie, sir.
My reality.
I won an award this week, and I didn't even know it.
You won an award?
Yeah,
What was
CBS
the award?
Radio. Oh, I think it was for world-class customer service. No, Corey's help. Oh, world-class performance. Okay, Corey, because Corey got the same award, just for a different station. But yeah, so I won, which was great. What was even greater is that they didn't tell me that I won, so I couldn't go accept my award. Everyone else that won was there to be like, oh, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. It was casted on all the TVs within the station.
Really?
And then it came to mine at the very end. They're like, oh, by the way, Conrad Reed won too. Yay! And I didn't find out until like 2 days later. Corey sent me a very weird text about how mine was misprinted, and I had no idea what he was talking about. And yeah, so...
Well, congratulations
Yeah,
for
it's
being the
just-
world's best question mark.
Yeah, I guess when I get the award, I'll know what it is. It looks like it might be able to double as a coaster. So, there you go.
More coasters.
More coasters. I like coasters. I actually collect them.
Really?
Yeah, now
You
we're
are
getting into really
nerdy, man.
lame talk. Speaking of nerdy, why don't we go ahead and talk to our guest. Lucas, you're more fitting to introduce him than I. You've known him all his life.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Today we have Phil.
I'm going to stop you. Pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, tell everyone who he is.
His name is Phil Del Castillo. He was one of the original members on The Rack Season 1. If you can find those episodes out there, you're a lucky person.
Now, who is he to you?
He is my brother, my younger
Now,
brother.
how do you only know him pretty much all his life?
Pretty much.
No, you've known him his entire life.
Can you really know a person 100%?
All right, that's some philosophical stuff.
Well, Phil, that's part of your name. Why don't you go ahead and weigh in? How can your brother not know your entire life, even though he's known you your entire life?
It's all wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
Doctor Who, and that's why he's on the show.
Just gotta
folks.
watch it. You know, sometimes there's just a big.
I-
I don't know how to explain it, but I'm pretty sure.
I just
Doctor
think
wouldn't
Lucas
either.
was
Just
wrong.
saying.
That's how I'm explaining it.
I'm going to say, if you've not checked out Season 1 of The Rack, we'll be releasing it again on the Vox channels, the VoxVii channels. Definitely check it out. Take it out.
Slightly more adult content
yeah.
than what we're doing now, so there is some language.
There was 4
Fair
of us
warning.
back then, for those that haven't been here the whole time. There is only 5 or 6 episodes
If that?
in Season 1.
Yeah.
My favorite episode has to be the first episode.
The first 10 minutes of the first episode,
Yeah, no,
when we were
it's-
introducing ourselves.
It's really, really good. If you listen to the first 10 minutes, you're going to be like, I'm going to like these people. And then we do something different in Season 2. So...
Where you're like, we're not that sure we like these people.
And then we do something different in Season 3. So...
we're probably still trying to feel this out. But Season 1 was our larva stage. We didn't really know what we were doing. Lucas was just like, hey, I have an idea. I want to get some cool people together, and I want to record a show. And we were like, absolutely. Who's going to be on it? And Lucas, obviously. And he came to me, who's been in radio, so we had that aspect going for us.
And Phil was wanting to do voices and voice stuff, and
Which he does very well.
He does very well. Do you want to do? Later on, we're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to do a voiceover for the Rack Show movie, which might be a thing one day. We'll see.
You heard it here, folks.
The Rack
Heard it
Show
here
movie.
first.
We'll call it The Rack Attack, a documentary in. Finish that.
Geekdom.
There you go.
That was terrible.
You've heard it here.
Yeah.
You could have done a little bit.
Yeah. So first season was
I
awesome.
was expecting it.
If we
I
can
know,
find
it's
the audio
understandable.
to it, because I don't know if we have the audio to it.
Yeah, we did all
Do we have
video
the-
first
do you have
season, didn't
audio
we?
first? Yeah. What?
Did we do video? We did video for first
I
season.
have to ask the guy that did the video. I don't know if we have video, but we'll try to see if we can get it out in the next month or so. Definitely check it out. Also, we do another show called The Vox, which Phil will be on after this, and the subject is the zombie apocalypse.
Walkers.
Yep, them too.
So we're gonna discuss
Oh.
how you would survive a zombie apocalypse and how would you pick your team and etc. He is a zombie connoisseur.
We're not going to get too much in it on this show because
No.
we got to save it for the next show.
Yeah.
But you're going to want to see
It's gonna be fun.
his preparations.
Yeah.
It is. I have a box of Cheez-Its in my car just in case. He's got me beat.
So check out the Vox. It comes out on Fridays.
Yep.
There's 2 other episodes. They're not going to be as good as this episode, I'll tell you that.
Oh, look at that. Shots fired. Shots
yeah.
fired. Look at the look you just got from Corey for that. Just saying. Corey just gave you
It's mostly because Corey was on
stare.
all those episodes. No. So what else do we have to go for? You're here. This is your 3rd season with us. First off, let's start off with season 1. How'd you think about season 1?
Great.
Was it fun?
It's fantastic.
Then you did season 2 with us.
Yeah.
A couple. He did how many? 2 or 3
Wanna
shows?
say
I don't
two of
even
them.
know the numbers. I just kind of showed up, man.
Yeah,
Which is great.
What was at
I'm
camp?
just like, where do you need me? What time? I'll be there. What
You
are
were on the
we don't know
glamping
what we're
ep-
talking about? All right, that's
You were
perfect.
on the
Let's keep
glamping
going.
episode with the rest of Lucas's family, and Jomar was there, and I was
Jomar.
there. Jomar slept in a car
Yeah.
because he's the worst camper
The Filipinos
ever.
aren't really built for cold.
That kid is built for cold.
On the other hand,
Jomar, we love you. He's
Jomar,
not here right now because
he's Americanized.
yes, this is also the day before Easter for us. So there's a bunch of family stuff that's happening this weekend for a lot of our members. So a few people aren't here. Jomar's one of them. He
We
was
have a-
here up until like 4 seconds ago, and then he had to leave.
We have a skeleton crew, is what he's saying, which means there's 2 people missing.
Yeah. For us, it's a skeleton.
That's a skeleton
Just saying,
crew.
we're used to operating.
Will has to operate a camera, and he's not too enthused about it.
He's doing a great job of it too, playing on his phone.
Yeah.
He's probably playing again. Probably leveling up monsters. Or whatever
What,
he's
what
doing.
level are your monsters right now?
I've got like 200 of them.
He has 200 monsters.
When they said gotta catch them all, he's like, nope, I gotta catch 2 of them all. So, yeah, you better. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna follow up with you every single year, and hopefully we go many years past this. You down to do more seasons?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So,
I thought you were asking if he was down for us to check in with him.
no, we're gonna check in with you every year, and because your life has
No, doors
changed
closed.
drastically since that first. You were a single guy on your own, figuring it out, and then last season you met a girl, and you announced that you guys were pregnant in September at the glamping episode, and now you've had your baby.
Well, we announced it to everyone else before that. I mean, to the
Yes.
show.
Oh yeah, you
and
announced
we
it
were
to
just
us,
like,
yeah. We're not saying you broke the
we're
news
going
here.
camping. All right, baby, we're having a
Babied.
baby, everybody. A couple more months.
He's been babied.
No, but yeah, I had a baby.
And now you've had a
boy.
baby for almost a year.
Yep, he turns 1 on the 28th. of
Adorable
May.
kid.
May.
Very
May
cute
28th.
kid. Good job making that child.
Yeah, I had
Kudos.
fun.
I had fun.
I mean, being a dad.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Wait, that is not where mine went at all.
Not mine
but it looks like you're doing it right.
Yeah, I know
I
it
saw
wasn't.
saw the profile picture. You have the Batman shirt with the Robin child. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Which Robin is he? Is he Dick Grayson
well,
Robin?
if I'm Batman,
But which Robin is he? Dick
and
Grayson?
he's my son.
I'm guessing he's not Jason Todd. Oh, Damien then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damien's
okay.
like the good one, though. I thought.
No, of
Damien's
course
the
not.
little.
I'm not
butthead.
planning on having all sunshines and flowers with my kid. He's
like, my
He's
kid's
gonna
gonna-
be a dude. I was kind of a, we're all kind of jerks at some point. I busted the window out of a truck in the back field at one point with a shovel. My dad wasn't happy.
Does that make your I forgot her name. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name off the top of my head.
What?
The lady.
Tiffany?
Yeah,
Oh,
Tiffany.
yeah.
Does that make Tiffany Talia?
What'd
I
you
mean,
say?
if we're gonna continue on,
Right?
yeah.
Okay, I'm making sure.
Wait a second. I'm
She's
lost.
kind of scary still.
There you go.
So I
Ta-
guess it makes sense.
If he's going to be Bruce Wayne and his son is going to be Damien, that means that the mother of his child is going to have to be Talia, which is
Ra's
the
al-
daughter of Ra's al Ghul in the
okay.
League of Assassins, who is not in Arrow,
Just-
but I
just-
think she should be.
Just for him, we'll just say Catwoman, and so that we
Yeah,
don't have
but
to
he's like,
explain
oh,
anything.
okay, now I
Catwoman,
get it.
gotcha.
Simplified. He's like, but wait, she's only...
Talia, that's a normal name.
He's
I
like,
don't
but
know.
wait, she's only 12. And we're like, no, that's Gotham, dude. That's a different thing. Just keep up.
I love Gotham.
Gotham's
You guys watch
great.
that?
Yeah.
I've been watching Gotham.
Whoa, okay.
What's good?
Like, what was that? Yeah. Hey.
We do that
I don't
by
know.
accident
See,
sometimes.
I couldn't do it. All right. Well, I can. Okay, so here's the thing.
We'll let you talk. Sorry. Go
I
ahead.
do. I watch my superhero shows.
What do you watch first off?
I watch The Flash.
Great
good.
show.
So
Great
here's how it started. All these shows came out. I started watching The Flash. I'm like, man, I like The Flash. I like his character in the comic books. He's always,
Yep.
Barry's got a nice wit about him, and he's cool cat. Plus, being able to move that fast is pretty sweet. So I was like, all right, let's give this a look. Starts to become really cool, and then they do the Arrow
crossover with Arrow,
and I was like,
you're like, who's this guy?
I watched the first episode of the Arrow when he's stranded on the island and that whole setup, and I was like, wow, this is a good show. And then I never got back to it because then I'm busy watching Doctor Who. That's a show that we watch, and I still got to catch up on that stuff, but. Started watching that. Started watching Constantine. Really good.
Solid show.
I actually liked the first few episodes that I watched was solid, but Gotham. I think it was more set up in the beginning to kind of give you more. I don't know if the right word is exposition of give you an idea of everyone's character and whatnot. It's just like I want something to move faster, something to happen a little bit more.
It was a little bit of a slow burn show, and
dry.
I also think that if you're familiar with the content, I think that it kind of caters not to the lowest common denominator, but it really kind of simplifies it for people.
Yeah.
Like changing Poison Ivy, her younger self's name, to Ivy Potts. It's like, I guess that's going to be Poison Ivy.
I didn't even watch that far.
Her name is Pamela Isley. But people wouldn't know that this little redheaded girl that's watering a plant is Poison Ivy if they didn't name her Ivy Potts. But I think they got better about that. Like they kind of hit you over the head with a lot of things right away, but then it got a lot more subtle and it really kind of took on an identity of its own, which I really enjoy.
I like it.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, even if I do watch it and end up, not so much, enjoying it or whatever, and stop watching it, I think it should continue to go. I think it's a cool story to flesh out the beginning of the villains, and especially Batman. Because Batman started off as more detective kind of work, and that's a really cool idea to do that. You're merging two really cool things in television, which, you have your
origin story.
Well, you have your whole, CSI kind of stuff, your detective side, and then you have a little bit more whimsical, and that dude's going to be the Joker later on. That's the one thing I was waiting to see if they would bring the Joker in, and when I saw the picture of the Joker in that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this show.
The guy who was rumored to be.
That's what they're saying.
You don't know,
right? But that's what they're saying.
It's pretty heavily implied.
It's pretty much lit up everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm looking for Red Hood instances. You know what I mean?
They already did the Red Hood episode.
They did
that's
a
the
nod
Joker.
to the Red Hood episode. But
It's called the Red Hood episode.
Yeah, but
the Joker is the origin story on the Joker. One of the three different. There's three different ones from the ones that I read.
Yes.
The basics are all pretty much the same. The cool part was my favorite one personally is that the Joker was a struggling comedian with a wife and a child. Something happened. I don't know where this came from, or it was online. Obviously, believe everything you read too. But it said three different instances though of like Joker's background. But the one that I like the most, because I'm more partial to comedians, very partial to comedians. He was a struggling stand-up comedian. And he had a wife and kid, had to bring home the bacon somehow, and he's just not getting paid for his comedy. I mean, it was probably a bad Joker. Zinger. And, I know, it's horrible. Anyway, so I guess he gets approached by, I don't know, I'm probably chopping this up like no other, but I guess like a gang called the Red Hood Gang, and they all wore the same red hood. And that was to be able to like relinquish power so that no one would know who the actual main head of the gang was.
Okay.
So they all looked the same. They were on they were at a chemical factory. And they were doing a break-in and whatnot, and Batman comes to thwart it.
I have heard this.
He is on the catwalk, and this is pretty much across the board when they break into the chemical plant, I guess. He's on the catwalk, and Batman's chasing him down. Batman non-lethal, but he doesn't want to get caught. He still has got his wife and kid, still trying to bring home some kind of money, kind of like good guy in a bad situation, and drops into this. Well, Batman's chasing him down on the catwalk, and dude just like leaps over the end. Just like, screw this, and goes over the railing, jumps into the vat of chemicals, swimming to the side of the vat as he's crawling out, and like falls onto the ground. His hair's turning green, and it bleached out his skin. It made his mouth or his lips like bright red and whatnot.
Somewhat similar to the Tim Burton '89.
Yes.
Was it '89? When does that movie come
I
out?
think it's 89.
Something like
I
that,
don't
yeah.
know.
But somewhat similar, except for the wife and kid. That's almost exactly how it happened to Jack Nicholson in that movie.
You know, I got to go back and watch the older ones because I was born in '89 and I grew up watching them.
Watched
but
just the
never
first
really
two.
like. I was like, oh, Batman, oh, Joker, sweet, but it was never like, oh, I bet there's a cool story here, in which there usually is, and I know Nicholson's portrayal of that character is actually.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. And it's perfect. I'm wearing
Yeah, I was about to say,
the
you
Joker
weren't-
shirt,
you
too.
weren't-
I don't know how it was a natural.
You only want to
rhythm.
watch the first two. The rest of them are like live action cartoons.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine. I love live action cartoons.
Wow, it's just a different Batman.
Listen.
all of a sudden.
I could be watching one of those movies and I could physically
89. I was
see-
right. Sorry, I just wanted to check.
I could physically see a wire that's connected to a harness, and I would still be like, "This is the best movie ever." Like, I'd be all in, man.
It's that-
forgot
that-
to edit
that-
like a boom mic out. Like, I'm still in the movie, man. It's Batman.
Do you remember
know, I
the
don't
Joker's
care.
line in that big famous line that he says in the first one? When he's talking to Batman when they're doing their fight?
Why are you so serious? No,
No,
that
his
would be
line,
awesome.
His line back in the early
Dance
90s.
with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight.
Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Yeah.
And Batman's like, what? He's like, I always wanted to say that.
Yeah. There's small snippets of that stuff that I remember, but
It's a good movie.
It's definitely worth watching, and,
Yeah.
and you're right. The Joker is a really cool character, and it's him as well as a lot of other characters on Gotham. It's just great to kind of see them grow. It's great to see the evolution of the city as well.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, because
I'm
this,
interested in
this
that,
is
too.
right after the Waynes were assassinated, or I guess killed,
So it's in the-
mugged,
it's-
whatever you want
it's
to
in
put
the-
it. You know,
is that when it was in its high point or when it was going to its low
No,
point?
it
that
was
was
going
at
low
its,
point.
that was at its pinnacle, and now it's going down.
That's okay. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see it
Because
at-
the
at
Waynes were
its
like a
pinnacle
pillar
and
of the
then go down.
community. You
Yeah,
know,
right,
like
right.
they,
And then-
according to a lot of people, they were not corrupt. So
Right.
that meant that as far as Wayne Industries went, that Wayne Industries wasn't corrupt. And then once they saw this could happen to such powerful people, you know, and everything just kind of went downhill.
Who do you think, in the beginning, what's the main character's name again?
James
Batman?
Gordon,
James Gordon. James Gordon's fiance is gonna be.
Barbara,
Yeah.
the mother of his child.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna get back
The-
together?
They have to. Well, I mean, you're in something that Gotham really does well, and that people didn't really accept at first, and I was right there with you. Was that they started to kind of go off the track of the beaten Batman story that we know and love.
They do.
You know, and once you're like, okay, this is a separate entity set in the same place with some of the same characters telling an original story, that's when I'm like, okay, now I don't have to be mad that they changed Poison Ivy's name to Ivy Potts.
It's just a different thing.
It's just a different thing.
It's a generic brand of the original
It's
thing.
not.
Yeah. So traditionally, Barbara Gordon, which is James Gordon's daughter, becomes Batgirl, who then becomes Oracle, and I think her mom has the same name, Barbara. And
Really?
so yeah,
Yeah, I thought so.
this
I
should
thought
be
that's
the
what
mother
it
of his
was.
children. Even though I love, help me out with her name. Firefly.
Oh, I don't
Inara.
know. Inara, the character that.
Yes, I like her a lot more.
And why can't it be her then?
Because she ends up running a non-profit clinic that actually Batman gets patched up at a lot, that is actually funded by the Wayne Company. She's one of the few people that know that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Ah.
See, I don't know that much about Batman lore and
I'm not.
DC
I like
lore
him.
too much.
In the DC universe, I like.
But
that.
their chemistry is great, but you kind of see them, at least in the last few new episodes, you kind of see them like, oh, you're a little, like, they don't fit as well together as we think they should.
Really?
Yeah, like her belief in the, not supernatural, but I guess the unknown, you know, he's more of a facts kind of guy, and her being a doctor, I think he thought that she should be a facts kind of girl, and she's really not, you know, especially in the episode where the potential Joker is introduced.
I really wanna watch that
You
one.
really see that kind of friction between them.
Now, what do you think about that new character, Fish Mooney?
She's amazing.
Now, she's not anybody in the future universe.
No,
do you
she
think?
was created specifically for the show, but you know who else was created specifically for a Batman show not too long ago? Harley
Harley
Quinn,
Quinn.
and everyone loves her.
Yeah.
Fish
Harley
Mooney's
Quinn's-
a great
yeah.
villain, though.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
I don't want to give away stuff, but she's
Jada,
in
Jada
that.
Pinkett Smith is amazing.
She's amazing.
She's amazing.
She's a scary character.
One of the goriest network television moments I think that I have ever seen.
The spoon?
Yeah. Fish. Oh my goodness. And we're not mentioning it. But
we can mention it. It's like 7 episodes.
But I don't want to ruin it for him.
I don't care.
Oh, you don't
so
care?
What happens
Okay.
is Fish Mooney has been. She was under the syndicate of what's his name? The big guy, the big gangster.
Yeah, I know.
In all the Batman movies. Anyways, Penguin worked for her. Penguin turned his back. Anyways, she owned a club. They took her away. She's not part of the gang anymore.
She's on the run.
Yeah, so she's on the run, and then you find her. She wakes up in this weird hospital, which I think is going to play a big role. This hospital, and you find out they're harvesting body parts from people for the rich, and she's one of the patients, or not patients, the people they harvest from. She gets them because what she's really good is leadership. She gets them to rally, and
She gets in the unionized.
yeah, she unionizes them, and she goes out, and the guy's trying to threaten her, saying, you know, if you keep this union, we're just going to kill you. We'll take your eyes. And she grabs a spoon, and she gouges out her own eye.
Because they made a mention a little while ago about how it's hard to find matching eyes or something like that, but hers are gorgeous. So they threaten to take her eyes. They're like, either you walk out of here and you get these people to fall back in line the way they've always been down there, which is waiting to be harvested, or we take your eyes right now. And she was like, or this. And she grabs a spoon and pops her eye out and then steps on it so that they don't have a matching set of eyes anymore. And things are still on her terms because that's just the way she
She
is.
is a badass.
I don't
Yes.
think it'd be that hard. I think you're giving her too much credit.
She just,
you kidding me?
Come on, if it's a little bit sharper at the end, you just going through the side, just kind of, the eye cavity is only so big, guys.
You're wrong.
Come on,
You are wrong.
And you know what else you can do? You just kind of like pop it, and you get all that juices and stuff to come out, and then just kind of like sever the back end. I don't know.
You're talking like this is a steak.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's juicy, whatever. It is. Ugh.
It's a good show. You should check it out.
It is a great show.
You have to stick with it for the first few episodes.
Yeah, it's like Doctor Who.
How do you feel about the development of the Penguin, which I think is really intriguing?
Amazing, and I'll be honest, the Penguin's not really a guy that I thought that would need a focus, you know? He's kind of a businessman in the Batman universe.
It's the scariest thing. Is a
Yeah,
businessman.
and you see
Lex Luthor.
You see his evolution, which is actually pretty cool. You see how he got his limp. You see why he's being called that, which they kind of beat you over the head with at the beginning of the show.
Because everybody calls him Penguin and he hates it.
Yeah, and so it's almost like how a wrestler doesn't like to be called a certain name in WWE, and so they just chant it over and over
Do you think he'll
again.
be disformed?
He already isn't the prettiest guy.
I mean, with his hands. Remember his hands were fused together?
I think not.
No.
No, because that was a physical deformity I believe that he was born with, which is one of the reasons why he was called Penguin. In this one, they're just making it because he kind of walks like a penguin and dresses in a suit and tie that's very penguin-esque.
What I find really great about Gotham is the relationship between Gordon and the Penguin. And that's what's intriguing. Gordon's trying to be this upright guy, and he'll sacrifice whatever, but the Penguin keeps drawing him back in to do bad stuff. And he doesn't want to, but when his hands are tied,
He sees that the
he goes to the Penguin, who's
Yeah.
just this young guy, and the Penguin's like, I'll do you this favor, but you have to do me a favor.
He thinks that the means justify the ends. Like, he's trying to get there the good way, and then he realizes that he can't get there the good way without a little bit of help from the bad, which is kind of like how the GPD has been operating, but he's trying to clean it up from the inside, but at the same time, he's still using the same tools.
And he's
now.
slowly becoming
Gotta
what he
balance
hates.
the good with the bad.
But we know that the end game is that the GPD ends up being a pretty pristine place under his leadership as commissioner, which he's still very far away from, but he's getting promotions. He's moving up the ladder. It's a great show. You should absolutely check it out.
It's definitely on my list. I still gotta finish I gotta start the third season or whatever it is of Arrow.
Which is great.
Yeah, I hear.
It's an
I hear.
awesome show, and I love the crossover. And I know they're doing a spin-off with an unnamed show that's going to have a bunch of these characters that are kind of peripheral characters, like Adam.
Adam who?
Adam.
The Atom.
Oh, the Adam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, I
Have you seen him in the
read
episodes?
this. Yes, he
I
actually
haven't.
just made a debut. I think the episode before last.
On
I
what,
believe.
Arrow?
On Arrow, yeah.
Okay, I don't watch
in his
Arrow.
suit and everything.
I'm more of a Flash. I keep current on Flash. I don't keep current on Arrow.
But it
And the reason
crosses
is-
over sometimes.
It does. It's just there's so much.
Steve
to
Amell's
catch
also
up.
a great Arrow. He's a great Oliver Queen.
Oh, he's gonna be.
Who's being cast as the new Casey Jones in the next Teenage Mutant Ninja
TMNT,
Turtle
yeah.
movies? Yeah.
Yeah, they're making another one. Thanks, Michael Bay.
Yay! Oh,
I haven't seen the first one.
Fantastic.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Good job, America.
Giant
Put your money into
Ninja
that
Turtles.
movie.
Do they ever grow up? I was thinking about that the other day. They're just
Listen,
like,
I
we're the
was
adult
just-
turtles now.
Well, I was just having this conversation actually.
Middle-aged turtles.
Not like you just
Maybe they
make them
really
grow up a little bit.
slow-
Put them into their 20s or something, man.
Maybe
Or
they get to
make
their
'em-
prime and they stop aging like Saiyans.
We're the middle-aged mutant
They're
ninja
mutants.
turtle. Mutant
Dude,
ninja
that doesn't
turtles.
have- the
Okay,
same-
first off, turtles live forever.
Well, for a very long time.
Remember the
you're right.
Galapagos turtle
So-
that
Yeah, they
Darwin
do.
had
So
just
their
died?
adolescence might
You know what I
be-
mean?
Yeah, their
so it's
adolescence
gonna
might
draw
be
out a little bit
longer.
longer.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
what is?
You're
So they're gonna be at their
absolutely
they're gonna be at their peak for
what
longer.
I'm saying is-
so what you need to do is put them back into the style where they were originally formed into the style where
In the
they
darker
all
comics?
Yeah, and they need to take it back to that and
Have
be
you
like,
heard about
listen,
Donatello died.
they've ripped Splinter's head off, and it's not the foot. Like, wait, what's going on? Like, there's something even more brutal going on.
Yes,
the-
Donatello just got his shell cracked
in the
and
newer commercial, not the commercial, in the newer comics, yeah, it's a pretty gritty comic.
I haven't read the comic. I mean,
the newer comic that's out.
I don't have comics.
What I want to see is the middle-aged Mutant Ninja Turtles, where they're like, yeah, you get enough fiber, and he's like, yeah, Michelangelo, you can't eat pizza anymore because you can't digest it because you get the shits.
Yeah, and Raph's sodium
That's what
is
I wanna
through the
see.
roof. He really needs to watch that soda.
Yeah. And then Donatello's, his cholesterol's just out of whack.
This sounds terrible.
It sounds awesome.
Michelangelo
sounds like
had a
worse.
stroke, half his body.
Then I can
Oh my
understand
God,
it.
dude.
I used to could understand the
Carl
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Wagner.
Turtles like 10 years ago. Now I'm just like, you know what? You can't do that. Your back would hurt.
Yeah, I've actually kind of tuned you out because he just said something that was terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. What do you expect? I gotta get it out, man.
Oh my god. It's one of the reasons why we like having Phil on the show because you kind of never know what he's gonna say.
That's a grab bag, dude.
It is.
Part of our production is before
I'm
we
holding
have
back right now.
Which we appreciate.
I want you to know that.
before we have a show, we usually send our producer Corey out to do a pre-interview so we know what we're going to talk about. And he's like, yeah, so I'm going to call Philip and do a pre-interview. And me and Connor are just like, good luck.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen.
I don't know what a pre-interview is.
So
I think it's like, why have a pre-interview if
So we got.
if you're gonna ask the same questions, then why don't we just do this now? Like,
what
why have
would
a
you tell Corey on the
pre-interview?
phone? What did you tell Corey? What did he ask?
I don't know. I was sleeping. I was like, hello. Hey, it's very nice on the phone. Very
Yeah.
very business
very nice
like. And
guy.
I was
That
like,
sounds like Corey.
Yeah.
and I was like, I forgot it's 1 o'clock already. Like, he told me he was gonna do this, and I went to bed last night going, he's gonna call me at 1 o'clock, and I still slept, and I was just like,
What did he
I
ask
think it was
you?
like 12:45, and I was like, I'm gonna be getting that call soon.
Is this AM or
Went
PM?
back to bed.
Well, because he works
PM,
nights.
Okay,
yeah.
PM,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
He
And
works midnight.
So you work the same
lazy,
schedule as
man.
me then?
Yeah, I work at 2 o'clock pretty much.
Yeah.
Or 2:30. So
To midnight, usually.
yeah.
So we
Well,
did the pre-interview.
but yeah.
We got nothing from the pre-interview.
I don't know what to do
Because we don't know what he told Corey.
So if you think this show is a little disorganized, this is why.
That's why.
Because you can't get Philip into a box because he's like, bitch, I don't need a box.
I don't know. I don't even know that we could swear. Like,
It's still.
I'm like, all right,
We
all
try
right,
not to. We try not to do the F
Yeah.
word. That's what
it's a
We're
very
trying to be a little more
it's
accessible.
a very
Accessible.
important word to avoid. There's a lot of words that people want me to avoid nowadays. The older you get, you find out how offended people can get.
Yeah.
Right? Thin
It's
skin.
so ridiculous. Oh,
I think
people.
it's today's.
I love
that's a
offending
different story,
people
but-
because you get to push them to a certain point, and sometimes people just need to get to that point and just be like, all right, I can see why I'm mad now, and that's kind of stupid.
Well,
It's a point of personal growth to realize how much of an ass you are. You know what I mean?
I've told Lucas this, that I think that because the world is trying to be so PC and not offend everybody, that we aren't picking and choosing our battles wisely. We're trying to
Yeah.
fight them all, which means that the big battles are
lost.
given the same. Yeah, get lost because of the importance that we're giving to the small battles.
We're about to get on some philosophical stuff, man.
My favorite thing.
That's just my
No,
belief.
I completely 1,000% agree. I think that we're putting putting too much in the forefront. I don't give two shits about, listen, gay marriage, equal rights, fantastic. Go for it. I don't understand why we're still focused on it. First off, I'd like to point out Fukushima is still going crazy over in Japan. We're still getting radiation tides coming over to California this way. Like, you kind of got to not worry about like what people are doing in their life and try to, start fixing something. I know,
Yeah, basically.
Space.
Right? We just gave up on that. It's a bummer.
I just read the report, gentlemen. Read the report. Everyone wants a space station.
Yeah.
China's putting their space station out shortly.
With the international.
Yeah, but every
it's old.
India, the UK. I'm reading all these things.
The Justice League needs their watchtower.
Dude, everyone's having stuff, and you know what? They're gonna stop putting money into the ISS or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. NASA needs to be given a shit ton more money, and that's what I mean.
Well, they spend more in the science. We were just discussing this over at I3.
It's ridiculous.
The Large Hadron
Large Hadron Collider.
Collider.
Yeah.
They spend more on that. Where's the one here? Not the large one, but it's called.
I don't know, but they just made new technology that you can have a tabletop collider.
Episode.
Yeah, but I don't remember anything about it.
Anyways, the one in Indiana, I believe. They spend more. They get more budget than NASA from what I
It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so if you just took
because corporate, because materials are more important than traveling the stars, I guess. Because it's more important that we have these great materials. And we know what things are made out of.
That's why this is one of the most impressive things. I keep up to date with this kind of stuff because this is mind blowing stuff. You kind of gotta know. You kind of gotta take your eyes away from Kim Kardashian for a minute to kind of look.
Easily done. Don't even get me started.
I'm just talking to. I don't know what kind of people watch the show or anything. I don't know how to.
Nerds.
You gotta take your eyes off of Cartoon Network, kids. I don't know. Family video or family.
He's like
ABC Family.
Read a newspaper.
Sci-fi. Okay, well, actually, sci-fi is pretty good. Still gets your mind going. Anyway, so you gotta look into some stuff because there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and it's pretty interesting. Like, do you know that there is this program? It's pretty much like Deflect Asteroids program. Mm-hmm. It's a fantastic program.
Isn't that called Star Wars?
No, that was during the Reagan administration.
Reagan came up.
And it was all BS from the start. It was just a joke, pretty much. Yeah, which is ridiculous. Anyway, I don't even want to get started into that, but they want to, by 2022, I think it is. They are sending out a ship to collide with an asteroid to see if it can be a contingency plan to knock an asteroid off of its course for
so
our
that it doesn't hit
doom.
us.
Right.
Which is actually a pretty damn good thing
and you
to do.
have to think about it this way. Like, out of everything that's on this planet, I don't care who you are, out of everything that's on this planet, we are the only ones capable of doing that. We're not massing our resources correctly,
Yeah, I agree.
Well, on top of that,
I mean, war should not be something that's a multi-billion-dollar corporation with trickle down through so many other ones. If NASA can get a couple $2 billion of any of that money, you'd be seeing ships going and trying to jump over toward Mars.
Well, I've seen multiple articles, television shows, stuff like that about possible end of the world scenarios, something that could really just mess us
extinction
up.
Event.
And there are things that could cause us
or
cause our planet to be extinct.
I can do it.
You don't have to, but the number one on every single list, because we have absolutely no defense against it, is a gigantic asteroid hitting us.
And that's why they have this program.
Stuff in space does that.
Actually, the number one thing that will kill us is a virus. Because we can never cure them, we can just run away from them faster. But someday it catches up with us. With an asteroid, it's coming, and you're usually going to have 3 to 5 years to figure it out.
You can have 0.08% of life still.
But with the virus, it can absolutely wipe out everything. And there's a scary, I don't know, it was a doc series where they talk about all it takes is one of these things that we have out now that they're locked away. It gets out. We're done.
You know that there's a bunker. You know that you know about the bunker. Okay, you know about the bunker. I hate when people do that.
You just did.
Wait a minute. I know.
You just did it.
I know. It happens all the time. It's like it's that same idea when it's like, Oh, have you been doing that? No, I've never been doing that.
Do you know about
Dude, why haven't you been doing that? You should have been doing... Oh, no. I do that shit all the time. No. But there's a bunker. It's not like a conspiracy theory or whatever.
Okay.
There's a bunker that's held, at, sub-zero temperatures or whatever to keep all these different things inert because it's just all the viruses throughout
Why do you
time.
keep them?
They just keep it in a bunker.
In case we need antiviruses,
right.
stuff like that.
That
We need
makes
them to
sense.
study,
Right.
Yes.
But
in
it's
a
all in
controlled
one spot.
environment.
It's in a bunker.
But yes, you're right. Every
So
single
what you
deadly
could do
thing
is just send a bunker
there.
buster down there, and the one thing that survives could possibly wipe out the whole. Oh, I shouldn't be putting this into the universe right now. I don't
They
know what I'm
end the
doing.
show. They end the
Don't
show on
do
this.
it.
It's not even happy the way they end it. They end the show, and it's Joe Rogan.
Humans will die.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
It's a Joe Rogan thing.
Oh yeah, that guy, Joe Rogan, questions everything. Is that the show you're talking about?
Yes.
One of my
Does that even
favorite.
exist anymore?
No, it
I feel like
doesn't.
it's
And there's a
not.
reason why it doesn't exist.
Because it scares the shit out of people.
No, it's because that they were
Conspiracy
just
theory.
done. No, because they were just done dealing with all the BS.
Oh, okay.
Dude, it's still a great show because he had to deal with Sasquatch hunters.
I love how he got serious all of a sudden with that sentence.
What do you
He
think
had
about
to deal
that?
with
Do you not
Sasquatch
do you not
hunters.
go squatching? I go squatching every now and then.
Squatch what happens.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's Doug
Well,
Benson.
they leave it on the dark note. They're like, one day viruses will catch up with our research, and we won't be smart enough to out.
We don't need to
Run
be
the
smart
viruses.
enough. That's why we have technology. So if you watch the other one about human evolution and I don't even know if it's that one. I
But the
listen to so
idea
much
is,
Joe Rogan stuff.
can it develop faster than the viruses have been developed?
I propose the question that by that time will we be already integrated into a technological form?
You think we will have a digital consciousness so that
Yeah.
actual
1000%.
viruses?
Who says that this
Will
isn't
not-
it right now? Simulation theory. I know it's good. I know
What?
you're like,
Are we going Matrix now? We
no,
going
no.
Matrix?
It sounds crazy, but the crazier things happen in real life. Like,
But in philosophy, there's things called razors, and one of the razors that say it's not worth even talking about is called Newton's flaming laser sword, which says
awesome.
it's an actual razor.
sounds like
This
a
is-
good
this is-
pickup in a game.
You know
man.
Occam's razor is?
Yeah.
Occam's razor is very popular. If you can't, have
Yeah,
something-
I don't know, but I just.
But philosophy has
bring me
these
back
razors.
on that one. I forgot.
Newton's Occam's razor.
Yeah.
Occam's razor says
There's too much
that
jibbly jobbly floating around up here.
the less steps you have to take to get into that reality is probably the truest
The
form.
more likely the reality is.
The more likely the reality is. So you getting here today, you probably took a car because that's more likely. You didn't invent wings, then put on a jetpack, and then fly here because you have to take too many steps. Because you'd have to know how to you'd have to grow wings, which means you'd have to, in this reality, you'd have to figure that out. Or you'd have to make a jetpack. So you just getting in the car and driving here takes the least amount of steps to
But
get to that
if
reality.
you also look at the macro of it and not the mini, the macro of it looks at it as the steps that we took to get to human evolution
Absolutely.
are that
but it's more,
also. So
But it's more, so in philosophy, that's one of the things it shaves off an idea. There is a razor that's probably the end-all, be-all razor. It's called Newton's flaming laser sword.
Never heard of it. It sounds
Yes.
awesome.
Me either.
What it
I
does
think
is
he's
it says
making
if
shit
it
up now.
can't be proven, it's not worth the discussion. So, in a debate
that
of
sounds
what
like
is
it
real,
just nullifies what science actually is about.
Well, no, it doesn't nullify. It nullifies what is not science. And if it's not a science yet, then don't talk about it. If it's something that can be proven and we can discuss it because we have different proofs or theories on it, then we can discuss it. But there's no point of saying, I believe this, but I have nothing to back it up, and you believe
I think
that,
that's false.
and there's nothing to back.
And
Well,
this
that's
is
a
the
razor.
reason. This is the reason why I think that's false. Is because you wouldn't have had the advent of modern science if someone didn't blow their mind and go out into the universe, and not through psychedelics or anything. But this guy, he literally
Which one
whatever.
Some guy.
A guy.
Was it Bruno?
Bruno Mars?
No. Bruno. He was pretty much.
Bruno the movie, Bruno?
Yeah.
No, he was
I'll
around
tell
that
you.
big Bruno.
Sebastian's.
Galileo, Bruno. That
I know
back in the day
Galileo, I
era.
don't know Bruno.
Anyway, so
Was
this
that-
guy
was that Galileo's
No, what
really
ended up
close best
happening? This
friend?
guy, he, everyone. This is back in the day when the church was like, listen, the Earth is flat. Everything rotates around us, and this is how it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The
Okay.
geocentric universe.
Right, but this guy, he questioned all of that science, and what he did is he had a dream where he was like, I've floated off into the cosmos, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what it pretty much was. There's no basis there.
Well-
there was no proof that this was there. There was the proof that the church has just been saying that this is the proof. So you have to kind of question.
I don't know if his
I
guy's
think-
name's Bruno. I know Galileo. He knew through retrograde and a bunch of other things like watching the
I
stars.
think Galileo's later. I'm not sure.
that
Galileo's probably much later.
That the
Yeah.
world was
Yeah.
probably round, and we revolved around a sun, which was the other thing that they were discussing, and that the sun didn't revolve around us.
Right.
And it was by watching. So he did have some kind of proof. They were scientists. And part of scientific theory
See, that's
is
why I think
applying
Bruno was before
and
him, because this-
developing the tools you need to get to your answer. Newton's flaming laser sword says if you can't create the tools and you don't have any proof, then it's not worth talking about. There's, for example, religion would fall under this. Any religion, and that's why they call
Nope.
any religion you can't prove with philosophy.
No. Of course not. Whoa! Hold on. That's
Not anti-religious, but in a philosophy, in a debate of
I'm not
philosophy.
anti-religious either. I'm anti-idiot. Like,
I agree with that statement.
I
But
think
you
that
can't-
it's
in
good to have
philosophy,
church and all that.
You can't
'cause,
discuss those
it
kind
gives
of
you-
things.
No, there's so much. Oh,
You have
God.
to go look up Google philosophy razors, and there's 5 or 6 of them that sort of
Yeah, I've
bring in
heard
your
them referenced
conversation.
before. I've just never researched it.
Laser.
Newton's flaming laser
laser.
sword.
I
It
think.
cuts through the bullshit.
Hey,
I think there's
Some good stuff.
I think there's a literal.
There's a good podcast
Okay, so
out there that I
but
started
what
listening
you're
to about
saying
philosophy.
though, so what that's saying though is that like. That's pretty much takes the idea of questioning in science out of.
No, you question it, but then you look for the proof. And
Okay.
if you don't have the proof, there's no point of discussing it. Not following it.
But isn't what's that
fighting you-
saying? Does that
My
does this
idea
saying-
versus yours.
Does
I
this
can't
saying
bring
apply
you-
though? Where it's like
The idea is I can't bring you in a debate and prove my answer is right over your answer
if
because
there's
I have
no
nothing.
right because there's
So I have to do
nothing on
research.
either side.
Exactly. So I have to do research and
Right.
make sure I have things that support my
Right.
idea.
Well,
you know what? Wait, you know what supports my idea? The movie Armageddon. Gigantic rock in space hits us and we die.
yeah.
You're
I'm
still
sorry.
on that.
Because I've been I just think it's.
You know,
more
I
think
of a
it'll be
threat-
alright.
I think it's more of a threat than virus.
Deep Impact was a good
I think
movie.
screw
Lily,
it.
Lily
Listen.
Sabowski.
If you get hit by a
I'm a big
meteor,
fan.
Saying.
screw it. Life-ending event. It's over. Who
Okay.
cares? Guess what?
What?
It's who cares?
I think everyone would care. I think every single thing on the planet would care.
But what if you're not
Not
on
at
the
all.
planet?
I mean, you don't have to care anymore. Oops. That's what makes it
You're right.
peaceful. I
It's-
mean, all right. So there's this guy. His name is
is his
Tom
name is-
Lehrer.
I was gonna say his name is Bruno.
No, his name is Tom Lehrer, and he has this song. He was a scientist, and then he learned how to play the piano, and he started going up and playing pianos, funny songs. It's really cool comedian guy. He has this song called "We Will All Go Together When We Go," and it's like it's such a funny song, but it's like if it's a whole worldwide extinction event, then just be happy with it, because you know what? Don't try to survive. Just be there for the whole end of it. Because screw it.
Wait,
Because what's going to end up happening?
Defeatist.
No. Because what's going to end up happening is because yeah, you're done. All right.
There's
so
things you
okay.
can survive. You can survive.
Right.
Impact.
Yeah.
But then you think about all
an
the stupid people are
earth-shattering
gone,
one.
and then it's you.
There's no guarantee.
Maybe
all
you are the
people gone
stupid
during that.
person.
Maybe you are
Like,
the stupid person.
right?
If you survive,
People
and
who
you know
think that they're
yeah, I
smart
don't know.
are
You're
usually
right.
the stupid people.
You're right.
You know what I mean? But like, okay, aside from all that, you're just going like, and I know this sounds hippy dippy woohoo bullshit, but like, you're just turning back into what you were before. Like, it's as if you want to take the cycle of life as you live, you die, you feed the dirt feeds grass, the grass feeds animals, the cycle of life. Well, you got to take it on to a bigger scale. You got to say, well, asteroid hits, kills everyone on a planet. They turn back into stardust in the vacuum of space to create another universe.
Well, because that's one of the
Or
that's the
create
second
another
law
galaxy.
of thermodynamics.
No.
Energy can be created or destroyed.
Right.
It can only be
Changed.
Yes. Energy never dies. You just
This has been a deep conversation
Yeah,
here on the rack.
this
collision.
went to a
Welcome to the
different
Philip
direction.
episode.
This is my podcast.
Remember we were talking about Gotham? Because I do.
I do.
Yeah.
It's Audit at Gotham. We keep getting the thing is we're supposed to talk about your kid. How's it like being a geek dad? Let's start off with how's it been being a geek dad for the last year?
Dressing your kid up as Robin while you dress up as Batman.
What else have you done with your kid? As far as geekiness.
He watches me play video games, and I have his own controller for an Xbox.
Are you really?
Nice.
Really? That's awesome.
Do you do that
I
trick?
have like 5 controllers. I'm going to give him one of them. He just sits
Do
there.
you do that trick online where it shows the dad playing a video game and it shows
Yeah.
him holding 2 children who have unplugged
Yeah,
in
I don't have a kid.
controllers?
I don't have
and
2
then,
kids. I got
and then
one.
he's just like, I sit like this for hours
Yeah.
and they think they're playing the game with me.
Yeah. No, he's not that smart yet.
Trick
not that
the
smart.
child.
Yeah, he ain't even got his brain for a whole year yet.
I like
He
that.
hasn't.
I like that. He's still brand new.
It's
He has
true.
that new baby
He
smell.
still got 2 more months
No,
before
he
he's
doesn't have that new baby smell, thank God. Not anymore. They washed that off pretty quickly. No, but it's you know, he
It's
watches
cool.
me play video games. It's
Is it
pretty
what you
funny when he
expected?
watches. What?
Is it what you expected so far of being a dad, a geek dad? Like, what would you think it was going to
No,
be
it's
like
gonna
versus...
be better. I mean, he's a baby right now.
It's
As
just-
soon as like, I don't know, he starts talking, I'm gonna be like, listen, I gotta sit you down instead
This
of
is
the
gonna be
birds and
great.
bees. I'm gonna teach you about Batman and Robin. Like, you gotta learn these other facets in life because, listen, and this is a weird way to spin it on this, but like, I think comic books are important.
I
I think superheroes are important.
Well, art
especially when-
imitates life, you know. There's a lot of
I
parallels
believe
there.
that there's
sometimes.
a lot of
like
good.
when Galactus attacked us last year.
I think there's a lot of good teachings, you know, about being not so much chivalrous, but like what's the word, like not proper either. What's a good person, a good template for a person,
Okay.
you know, and shows you kind of, you know, gives you a good background. So I'm gonna be showing
Do
you
the
some
right
comics.
things for the right reason.
I shouldn't have. I had 32 pounds of comics when I left high school. I gave them to one of my teachers, one of my favorite teachers, and
What teacher?
Mr. Applegate. He actually has
Oh.
his own podcast called Two Nerdy Dads or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I gave him a bunch of comics, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, I never thought I was going to have a kid back then. That's right. I was like, damn it, I should have
Didn't think I
kept
would
some of
have
that
anything
stuff.
to pass down to my little nerd or nerd.
No, but I'm going to be getting, I got to figure out some subscription stuff. I got to start getting comics back, man. I'll start fresh. I just missed this
check
whole
out Motor
Convergence
City
event.
Comics in Ferndale, man.
I want
They're
to check
pretty
out this
solid.
Convergence event through DC.
What do you
Earth
feel
Shattering or something like that. I don't know.
For your son? What superhero would you want him to become?
Become or
mimic?
idolize.
Idolize, become, whatever. Which one do you want
Probably
him to sort
say
of
stay
shape
away from it. It's pretty hard, dude. But
What?
if you want to go for it, no, like being a superhero.
Like what? Who
Listen,
do you
that's
want?
hard stuff.
Who do you
He's
want?
like, we want
If
you to be
wanna
the
get up-
Joker.
do you want to get up and do sit-ups all the time and like do pull-ups?
It's terrible.
and-
Look at all those training montages on Arrow.
I
It's
just
just
can't
ridiculous.
do it. I can't. He's doing things like with one arm, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be like that. That's not
what-
real.
Okay, then who would you? What kind of role model in the superhero world would you want your son to have? Outside of your
Not a
influence.
single one. That's why it's good to have comics because every hero is supposed to have their downfall. That's what makes them important.
Well, every human has their downfall.
That's the
Yeah.
importance about it, though. To
Well,
understand
we're all
that,
flawed.
like, I think that it'll be interesting for them to like in this to like deal with Tony Stark's like pure alcoholism, because that's an interesting one. There's a couple other ones that are like more mental and whatnot, but anyway.
So you can't pick one
No,
that you
I-
want your
no,
you want,
that's
that
why-
you want to be your kid's favorite.
Because I remember growing up and I was like, man, Spider-Man's a cool cat. He treats
He was
everyone.
huge into Spider-Man.
I'm like, he's a cool guy. He, teaches some good stuff. And then, Captain America, he's another pretty valiant, guy. And then Iron Man, then you get older and I'm like, the Punisher deals with shit pretty cool too, man. I'm like,
That is
this
pretty much the evolution of Phil's growth.
It is.
I'm not even kidding.
It is. It truly is.
What would you say you're in now? What you were in your Punisher phase? What?
He's wearing a
now?
Joker shirt right now.
Well,
Well-
I don't think he's in his Joker phase.
Well, I just, I don't know. For heroes, it's more of like, I'm not even sure really. Like, a mainstay has always kind of been the Hulk, though. Like, that's
Okay.
been solid all the way through because if you look at it, the Hulk, he's like super smart. He's pretty
As Bruce
solid.
Banner.
Yeah, as Bruce Banner. And I don't know what comic line it is, he ends up controlling it, and so he can talk as the Hulk and all that. But
Well, the Hulk's evolution has it's gone through. We've had at very very first we had Gray Hulk, and then he was Green Hulk,
Yep.
and then he was Mr. Fix-It Gray Hulk and
Yeah.
Green Hulk,
Some
and then
Red
he was,
Hulk
and then Red Hulk wasn't him.
Yeah, it's
it was a
his
different
twin,
guy.
or-
And then
I
you,
don't know.
that was actually General Hammond.
Yeah, I see. I don't
Betty
know that
Ross.
stuff.
No, it was not General Hammond. It was Betty Ross's dad, General Ross. Anyway, and then you had Bruce Banner's mind in the body of the Hulk.
Yeah, okay, so that's
And
what
then you
it
had
is.
completely mindless Hulk, and then there might have been another Hulk, I don't know, but then you had kind of Planet Hulk, which was more of a regular kind
Yeah,
of
that was after
cunning
the,
Hulk.
the Illuminati
and now,
shot him off the planet.
And now you have a Hulk that has Bruce Banner's intellect, which is not Bruce Banner as the Hulk. It's the
He's
Hulk
smart, but he can't.
as smart as Bruce Banner is,
Right.
which apparently is something that Iron Man is dealing with in the comics currently, or has just, I don't know, I'm not up to...
No
but the
idea.
Hulk
Does he
thing,
still have the rage?
I believe he does.
Intelligence and rage?
But- yeah.
Dude, that's
hard
scary.
one.
Which is why he's a somewhat of a villain-ish.
No, he's the anti-hero, I think.
Whatever. And
I don't even know what an
he's going
anti-hero
ag-
is. He's not a hero and he's not a villain.
Yeah,
He's the
I know he's
person
going
who-
against
who's solid.
Iron Man for some reason, but I haven't read it, so I
All
don't
they
know
gotta
why.
do is
Man, they
call
get-
Squirrel Girl.
Listen, all right.
Squirrel Girl.
Iron Man should have been taken down, and he will be taken down because he stands for some pretty messed up stuff at the end of it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like him.
Oh, look at that.
So in the
Isn't that
next
your
time,
favorite guy, Iron
what?
Man?
Well, at the end of it,
In Marvel, Iron Man's
Yeah.
my guy.
dude, when the Civil War happened, it just blew the top off of it. I was on
Yeah.
the rebel side the whole time.
Yeah. Me too.
1000%, and I was like, take Iron Man out.
So you own a PC now.
Own a PC now.
Segway.
This is a terrible segue.
Thank you to one of
that
my
wasn't
best
even a segue
friends.
at all.
Segway.
Gave me an awesome birthday present.
But yeah, and so you're getting into PC gaming, you're getting into the PC world.
We've played 7 days. I don't know if I played with
I've-
you.
Yeah, we did, but I didn't want to. Not on that. Well, listen, don't throw me into a survival game where you're like, all right, go and survive. There's a fort over there. There's a fort over there. Don't worry, all the
Those
zombies have been
people are
taken out. Like,
surviving.
No,
You
he
have
came
to
into a
survive.
server where
Is this Woodbury?
There's
What's
no
up?
point of surviving because we already had everything.
no, yeah.
Was that
Bill, you
yours?
can come
Yeah,
play
our-
with me.
our
I'll
server.
make my server to make it super hard.
Dude, I
Listen, we became survival lists.
We were like
Right.
the best guys on
Yeah,
that
we
server.
were doing really well.
man.
And then
this
there was
is-
a point where me
Except
and
it's
Will
shooting.
split off, and he made his own fort, and then we made our fort. And then he's like, I don't want to play on the server anymore. It's gotten too easy. And then he's like, you can have my fort. He's
and
like,
it
have
was
my fort.
ridiculous.
And it has toilets. I'm just like, why the fuck did
it
you
was
put
a work
toilets?
of architecture.
I just did it.
You just. It's
He has toilets. You can't even use a
There's
toilet.
no
He just
function
like
in
wanted
the
to
game where you can actually use a toilet. The thing that comes closest is when you eat food that makes you gassy, which means that zombies can track you easier because you're farting. That's it.
Yeah.
That's a function in the game, but you can't use the bathroom. You don't get
Hey,
sleep
dude, at
from
that
it.
point,
you don't
you
get
do.
morale from it.
you get dirty water from the toilets, guys.
No,
Yeah,
Not
you
this
do.
one.
nope, you don't. Not in
No.
this one
Not in
because there's no
7
there's no
days.
working plumbing. It's
Yeah,
the
there's no
apocalypse.
That's why it's just nasty ass water. It's just sitting there. It's standing water.
You can't get water from
Yeah,
it.
not from it.
Nope.
Nope.
Which we know.
Not there anymore.
We spent many hours on this.
Just
game.
assume that it's already happened because
Yeah.
you don't really know. Is there a storyline behind 7 days?
Yes,
I don't
there
think
is. I don't
There
remember
is.
what it is.
I read through it.
He
It's
anyway.
pretty
He
much
came
ridiculous.
in and we have all this stuff. We have the augers. We have the chainsaw. We have everything you could possibly.
I'm just like, all right, I'm logging out.
And he was bored with it. He's like, this is not even hard. I'm like, no,
Dude,
it's
if you
not.
come in now though, they've wiped the server and everything's way harder.
You want to know what was way harder? Just playing a damn game by yourself, guys. I know.
What game?
What game?
All of them. All of them. Take any game and play it by yourself. It is
Longest-
incredibly hard.
You want a good survival game?
Not even
Ask
incredibly hard,
Conrad.
but it's hard.
Ask Conrad. Ask me. Longest Dark.
Longest
I already
darkest.
I already played
Great.
it.
And that
I
you're
just survived
completely
for 2.5
alone in that
days.
game. What
That's
do you
nothing.
do?
Right
Yeah.
now. Right now. This is my first playthrough.
Call
so
me when you get to 35.
Call me when you get to
50.
50, 60.
Yeah.
I ain't calling either of you for nothing. What are
Well, you
talking
can't
about?
because it's the longest dark and you're completely isolated.
Yeah, well, tell them to get the damn story rolling, and then I'll be more interested in the thing.
It's coming. It's coming. It's getting there.
So was
It's really
Alpha
solid.
11, and they busted that up a little
We
bit.
It's good.
were just handed this thing.
Well, we're not ready to do this. 'cause I'm not done with this.
Well,
yet.
we were handed it and we're being yelled at by him.
We were late.
Just
It's
saying.
fine.
All right, whatever.
So anything you have to look forward to for next year?
With what?
in general,
anything.
anything.
Yeah, I'm looking
Whatever-
forward.
whatever we can
disc
talk to
golf
you.
season right now.
He's a big disc golfer.
I'm looking
disc
forward
golfer.
to getting my own house right now.
Yeah, he's looking for a house.
Pretty much sustainability. I'm looking at building a nice little
Marriage.
no, No, we
No?
gotta get a house first.
Gotta
You're
get a house
crazy.
first.
I don't even get me started on the marriage thing. Such a ridiculous idea. You own land. That's what marriage was all about. Man,
One day we had a bigger brain
This
on
is a touchy subject.
no, it's
wow.
just I always have to talk about it because everyone's like, "Are you getting married?" I'm like, "You do know it's just a piece of paper, right?"
And rings.
and rings.
Tax reductions. What?
Tax reductions, like
Yeah.
Corey said,
Tax reductions. I
Yeah.
pay my taxes. We're doing fine.
but you can get them reduced.
I get money from the kid, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
That's
know,
about it.
right now I'm.
He's like, that
Take
doesn't
care of
outweigh that I have to marry
Listen,
the girl.
You can give your last name to a few people.
yeah.
You can't. He already has my last
He
name.
does have.
What about Tiffany?
She doesn't. He
There you
has
go.
my last
She
name.
could
though.
have your last name.
Hey, if she wants it.
You
Like,
could.
She could also go to the court and be like, "I'm changing my name to Del Castillo," and they would be like, "Okay."
But then you'd be like
Would you
marrying your
wrap-
sister.
Would
No,
you
it wouldn't.
wrap
It
up
would-
your
she
last
would-
name for Christmas?
She's white. It's completely different. No.
You should be adopted.
Would you wrap up your last name? She's like, I'm giving this to you for Christmas, and she unwraps it. And it's your last name. It's like,
Right.
now go change it.
There.
And she'd be
There.
like, oh
Here's
my God!
25
Yes.
bucks.
And you're like, no, I'm not actually proposing to you.
Like
I'm
this is
giving you
so
my
people
last
get off
name.
of our
Yes,
back.
There you go. Now you can have it.
No. So
Go.
Just
no, I
wear this
think
on a
it's-
chain around your neck all the time.
I think it's something that could definitely be put in the background. I mean,
I
if
just
that
want to
whole
have
thing.
a party.
Well, that's fine.
Just have a party.
What are you doing? You're an
You
adult.
don't need a reason.
You're an adult.
doing?
You
guys
can
go
have
for
a
dinner.
party. You can call people, right? Be like, hey, you guys want to have a party tonight? And be like,
And they'd be like,
I got hot dogs and shit.
they'd be like, nah,
This is not a
Easter's
wedding
tomorrow,
party.
and I gotta hang out with my family. But if you want to reschedule for next Saturday, he'd be like, I can't next Saturday. I got plans. What about the Saturday after that? Be like, well, I can't because I'm gonna be disc golfing all day.
And then you go, why are we friends? Click. Like, we clearly never have times that ever meet up. So,
And then you play PC games online with people.
by yourself.
Full circle.
So you love the PC now?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty
Versus your
solid.
console?
I'm gonna be upgrading that instead of buying a PS. I'm not jumping the boat.
I agree.
I'm sticking with PC because at this point there's a lot more ports for it. There's a lot more flexibility with it. There's a lot more, pretty much sustainability with a PC. Period. Like you could just have a case, and every time you need to upgrade something,
You do.
You just upgrade it. Like I'm gonna go buy a new graphics card at some point because I'm really looking at getting Dying Light.
It looks good.
Zombies. Segue. Next show. Let's go. Okay, so
He just closed out the
We
show.
can, yeah.
Then
That's
it's
the
time,
end of
I
it. Yeah,
guess.
that's what you want to do.
He's like, ready, we're done.
Oh.
So let's close this out. So next
oh wow,
week,
that was like perfect. I didn't even see that going on.
next week we'll be at Midwest Media Expo. Definitely come check us out.
Doing a lot of stuff. It's gonna be a lot of fun with a lot of people.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to meeting you guys. Come to our panels. We have one right after
Opening ceremonies,
Yep,
Friday.
Opening ceremonies. And then we have one in the morning.
On Saturday, about 11:30 or so.
We know it's early, but we want to get special guests on. So
Also, the Super Geek Quiz Off is happening Friday afternoon, evening-ish. Right after the Deadpool Cafe, I believe.
And then we're going to be going to producers panel,
Producers panel on Sunday.
and then
you're going to.
Pod Apocalypse, which is like a 2-hour block of just a bunch of people just talking about
Us messing around. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
similar to this, but a lot longer.
Yep.
And a lot more people.
Yep.
We're hoping a lot more people.
Yep.
We do want to put out there Geek Fan Expo.
Yeah, you stop me. I'm gonna let you do it.
You want to do it?
Nope, you do it.
Okay, so
like I tried.
Geek Fan
I tried.
Expo, they are doing a Kickstarter. Check out Geek Fan Expo. They are trying to kickstart for July 10th, 11th, and 12th. Go to geekfanexpo.com. On Twitter, they're Geek Fan Expo. #IMGFX. It's good place.
You feel good about that?
Yeah, I do.
Maybe you should have let me do it.
You want to try it again?
Probably went a little bit better. No, we don't need to. It's fine. No,
I
you
think-
did some-
I think
you
it was
did
sufficient.
If you say so.
I think it was
I guess it could have been
sufficient.
better. Just saying. You also didn't show
Do you
off
guys
the
put that up there?
thing.
Well, we don't need to put up there because they're just going to throw up stuff in this. This is all too far away.
There you go. No, it's fine.
You guys put it up on like your Facebook page?
yeah.
What?
Oh, I think they'll get that.
Yeah.
I'm
Think-
Is
saying.
there anything else we have to talk about?
Asteroids. It's happening.
It's impending doom, people.
It's impending doom. We need to do something about it. Stop cheering Will.
Here's
right.
what I say, people. Hurry up. Go to your grocery store. Rate it. Get all the damn water. People are going crazy. Lunatics. Get all the shit. Go to your basement.
But what if the
and bunker
asteroids-
down.
The
What if
opinions of
asteroids
one
start before the apocalypse?
Phil Del Castillo does not actually reflect that of the Rack Show or VoxVii LLC.
which you can hear
No,
more
but it does
about
me.
on the Vox, which will be next.
So
This Friday.
Keep it on VoxVii's YouTube channel. Keep going to VoxVii.com. Keep it on TheRackShow.com. Keep following us on Instagram and Twitter. The Rack Show, all one word. Go to our Facebook page, like us there, and you can be in the know. Phil, thank you for being here. We know that it's a family-oriented weekend because it is a holiday weekend, so we appreciate that. For Lucas, I'm Conrad. Thank you for watching Season 3, Episode 3 of The Rack Show. Good night. Good day. Whenever you're watching. Just have a good one.
Peace, guys.
Peace out.
Zombies!
Jeremy Olsen, man, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing alright. How you guys doing?
Yeah, First Last Film started with you and your friends doing a 48-hour film festival.
And I'm not huge into doing 48s myself anymore, but there's definitely a reason to do them. It's the way to get started. It's the way to establish a
Absolutely.
crew. It's a way to try something and to see, can you do it?